It's a big deal to me that 3 of those people appear to be completely innocent.
That's
and
okay.
they say to bring them back.
They're illegals.
I'm not sure they're all 3 of those are illegals, but I'm not confident enough.
It's fucking foggy, and the government isn't doing a good job of elucidating it, and they should. The fact that it is foggy worries me, because why is nobody from the other side coming by and going like, "Here's his fucking mugshot"? He did. Usually, what they do is like, "Oh, you feel sorry for the guy we got today? Here's what he did to little 8-year-old Jessica, Jessica."
Jessica.
Jessica, come out here, Jessica. And Jessica comes out with a fucking limp and a fucking one eye because this guy's
and a brand new like snake
something
tattoo.
Like 90 of them had no criminal records. Right now, doesn't mean they've never committed a crime. If they're head to toe, obviously in a gang member, and that's their like sense of identity and sense of self-worth or something, I'm still flexible on this. But if a gay barber gets rounded up along the way, a gay hairstylist, it gets thrown in an El Salvador supermax prison who had nothing to do with this. If they use autism awareness tattoos, no, they haven't gotten them out. The judges ordered it, and Trump has defied the order openly. It's not a can't do, it's a fuck you. And that makes it worse.
No, the Supreme Court held
when they use the autism awareness tattoo as proof that this guy was a gang member, as if that's a gang tat. Good golly. Like you're not shooting straight.
Does your opinion change? Like for me, they're, as far as I can tell, they're illegals. Like there would be a million people out there saying, "Here's the evidence he's a citizen," but they're not, because he's not a citizen. Like I really
There's more
don't.
than one category. It's not citizen or not citizen. Sometimes they like had applied for asylum, which makes them here legally. Sometimes they're green card or whatever. Like they're not. I don't think they're all illegals. They're just not citizens.
I haven't done my due diligence. If they are illegals, then I don't give a shit. Like really? I really don't care. Like if it deters more people from breaking into our country, which is just
what if they're
saying
murdered in the El Salvador prison?
Then they probably shouldn't have broke into a country that doesn't allow them here. Like, and they're not going to be murdered in the El Salvador prison.
Jesus, Judge Dredd, what next?
You like, what's wrong with like
Why
deporting
did we even
illegals?
Bother sending them there? We could have blown their brains out on the street for all the.
An El Salvador supermax prison does not seem like a just punishment for, being an illegal immigrant. I'll put it the full way. Yeah, an illegal alien, is that the meanest thing? Illegal alien. El Salvador supermax prison isn't what I want to do with.
That is not what I want to do either.
I would rather just send them back normal, I guess, like send them to Honduras or wherever the fuck. But at some point, we do have to get real with it and be like, yeah, stop invading our country. It's ridiculous.
What does real with it mean? Does it mean we execute them for coming here illegally? Because I don't think I like that.
No, I don't think that's reasonable. I think that just sending them back isn't reasonable.
I think sending them back is very reasonable to the place from which if all you've done is come here, that was your crime. That's a crime. You should be sent back. But we shouldn't send you to hell, because that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I just, my sympathy is out for like the whole like illegal thing where it's like, oh, this person could be totally innocent and we just sent him there. It's like, well, they're not. The framing of it's always dishonest, where they're like, he's just a gay hairdresser who broke into our country and lives here illegally and could be involved in gang crime, could be involved in drug crime. Like, we don't. I
want to know for sure before I send him to hell, though. Like,
I think that's fair too. Yeah.
I just want to know for sure. And if there's any doubt, we shouldn't send him to hell. And look, anybody who hasn't looked into that prison, that is not where they don't know what all those people have done. All those people haven't been given a trial. They've been put in there and they're going to be kept there for the rest of their lives. That's what that is. Like, there's no plan to release any of those people. They're keeping them there like cattle forever.
To tie into what Kyle's saying, cruelty is the point, right? The point is to scare anyone else who might think about entering the country. That's why when there was all these stories about separating mothers from their children, the Trump administration, 8 years ago, was like, this is fucking dope. I love it. Yeah, keep running more stories about separating moms from children. We're trying to scare the next mom from coming in here.
I would separate them too.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to separate.
I don't think cruelty is a personality trait that I value in a president.
I think that at the point we're at, with tens of millions of illegals, like, there needs to be an understanding of like, yeah, things might go bad for you if you break into our country
An implication.
and start living here. The implication. we put him out on a boat with Dennis Reynolds. But
we could have like faked an implication though. Like we could have faked that.
No
We're
one
doing it
has.
for real,
No one's
though.
been taking it serious for decades.
Well, they're taking it serious
Even
now
Trump
because
now. Trump's deportation numbers
Australians
are
and UK
ridiculously
citizens
low.
are afraid to come here. They have travel advisories because every now and then we're grabbing some tourist and throwing them in a federal prison for 2 weeks.
Really,
They grabbed
we're arresting random Australians.
Yeah, an MMA coach that was coming here for the last event. It was over 2 weeks. They held him in a federal detention facility because his paperwork didn't clarify whether he was earning any money as a coach here for the UFC event. So they held him for over 2 weeks. He got in a fight. They were trying to take his betting from him while he was in our facility. They ended up, of course, apologizing to them for their mistake and sending him back home. But that's happened over and over to like any number of people, not from fucking Pakistan. I hear you from Pakistan and they gave you a hard time. I'm like, well, are we sure he's good now, though?
You
Like,
guys were the ones keeping Osama warm.
We're roughing up some fucking Australian MMA coach. I'm like, what are we doing, boys? Like this guy didn't have any. I don't know. I look bad. This is the article. Like,
I see exactly what Woody's saying. Like, needless cruelty is not necessary. Like that's like you don't want to be needlessly cruel, but we need to get rid of these people who break into our country.
I agree.
Enough is enough. Important, right? We can't just guess. We can't using an autism awareness tattoo as proof of that you're a member of El Aragua. I don't know how close I came on.
Aragua.
Can you say it again for me?
Trende Aragua.
Trende Aragua.
That's close.
I'll try to keep that. Okay. An autism awareness tattoo is not proof that you're in Trende Aragua. And what they're doing is reckless and cruel and intentional. They want people to be scared. And being cruel to scare people isn't something that I think makes a good leader.
30% of ICE is Hispanic. Do you know that?
No, I wouldn't have guessed that. 30% of ISIS is Hispanic?
Yeah.
No, I thought you said ISIS for a second.
I did. Like, what did you say, Kyle?
ICE, like immigration.
ICE. I'm like, ISIS is Hispanic? God damn. I
can't believe you thought that. Of course not. No, ICE. I'm sorry.
Oh, it makes perfect sense that ICE would have a lot of native speakers. That makes sense. Yeah.
Like 30% of ICE are Hispanic. That's
There's a scene in Charlie Wilson's War where the rough CIA agent, sort of rough around the edges CIA agent yells at his manager and he's like, you got rid of every fucking native speaking Pakistan in the CIA? How smart is that the people speak the language of the country that we're investigating in? And I was like, they're first generation Americans. They're citizens like you and I. And I was like, oh, damn. This guy makes a point. Now you're going to have fucking some Swedish looking dude investigating Pakistan who learned the language academically.
First generation.
Well, I guess the way to do this
is a much more
would be
patriotic person than the average fellow like me who's been here so long that you can't even track it.
I could see that.
I would rather see them send the autism tattoo guy just back to wherever. It would be so funny if, like, a year from now, they're like, autism tattoo man, most devious criminal in Trende Aragua. But, like, I would rather. There should be a sense of fear in regard to breaking into a country. If I break into Singapore, I have no illusions that they will treat me well. I'm going to be getting caned and they're going to be making fun of me for being overweight and they're going to be doing all sorts of things. Like that is what a country does. Like you can't just break in. That's ridiculous. But I see the point you're making here that this guy doesn't seem, just from this article written by someone who is an immigration activist, to be like a Trende Aragua or whatever.
That we use due process before we throw people for life into an El Salvador supermax prison seems like an obviously good idea.
It really does. And look, where I am on this is like I wouldn't mind so much if we accidentally sent someone accidentally to Honduras who shouldn't have been sent there. And they're like sitting there at a bus stop in Honduras, like, what the fuck was that all about? Honey,
Well, this
you're
is
not going to
crazy.
believe where I am. Yeah, dinner.
Why didn't they send me back to Ottawa?
Like, that
He's
happened.
there with a stick and puck.
He's got a senator's sock cap on.
Yeah. See, if that happened, it would almost be comical. But
Right.
this
It'd be a good story.
but they have a concentration camp in El Salvador, and the idea of it is sound for El Salvadorians because their country was being taken from them at gunpoint and knife point, and they took it back, and and now they have an incredibly low crime rate. And when you look at that sea of human flesh that they have chained together in that place, it's hard to find the guy that's a hairdresser. They're all tatted head to toe, like demon fucking horn. Literally,
They fit
devil
the
horns
part,
is the most
right?
popular tat.
I saw the demon horns guy, and it's like, what if I were like a hardcore criminal? I wouldn't be like, yeah, and put like fucking devil horns on my head. Put a 666 on the back of my neck
That's
and the
because
front
you're
of my
not
neck.
committed to the lifestyle like I am, Taylor.
I'm
Yeah.
not as hardcore. I need to
It's-
be
Under here, demon horns.
just that would be so.
When I
We
see
start
that,
seeing the
I'm like,
bottoms of it.
I'm fine with it, and that's their country as well. Those are El Salvadorians. I'm not an El Salvadorian. They can do with their people what they will, especially their criminals. And like I want no part of that. But us sending people there, I don't like that at all. And Trump has talked about sending American citizens there,
Mm-hmm.
like
He's
not
very
just like
excited.
not
Like,
in a flippant way either. Like
Yeah.
they've asked him about like oh yeah, the president said he'd take Americans too. I love it, and it's like, you do.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, why? Like, citizens should be treated differently than
And again,
illegals.
our prison
Like,
system is fucked here, but you are at least filed away, and they know where you are, and they know about your
Mhm.
well-being, and there is a chain of paperwork that you can file to get help, to get medical assistance. There's all sorts of advocacy initiatives. You have legal representation every step of the way. Like, that's a criminal justice system. What they're talking about is throwing away the key for realsies. Like they don't know who all they have. They don't know their real names. Part of that's because they're a vast criminal organization of thugs. But part of it is because they didn't really care. You know, they're not letting those people go. Those people aren't serving XYZ sentences. They're being held forever. They're never letting those people go. And that to me is wild. That anyone from here would be sent there into something like that. You tell me they got a big jail down there that's efficient. Great, we can send our people there. But you tell me they have a gulag from which there is no return. Don't send our people there.
I mean, the second he sends,
No matter what they do. Like, don't send our child molesters there.
Like, if he sends an actual American citizen there, that would be fucking outrageous.
No American citizen should be sitting there no matter what they've done. I don't care if
This is
you've
how
committed
it's done,
treason.
though, right? It's done in baby steps, right? First it's them, then it's them, and then it's us. You know, step by step. I remember I was watching this Russian woman talk about how they lost their free press. And the first thing they lost was MTV. And people were like, okay, so it's not state run, but there's plenty of other not state run organizations. And that MTV one's kind of American, so it can go. And then, like, just sort of closer and closer to Russia, they got removed. You know, first it's MTV, then it's some British thing, then it's some Polish thing, and then it's the Russian things, until now there is only state-run media.
Yeah,
They creep it in.
That's a realistic fear.
So first it's an
But I don't see
illegal
that.
immigrant going to an El Salvador Supermax, and then it's a legal immigrant, and then it's some guy with a green card getting deported because he said something against the administration, and then it just keeps working its way into, well, this guy's legal. This guy actually had freedom of speech, but you decided fuck his freedom of speech because he's not a citizen, or you just don't like what he said, until
They're
it gets two citizens.
They're investigating that guy who said that the 2020 election was the most fair and safe election, secure election we'd ever had. I believe that is his crime, and now an executive order was signed in front of the press to go to go investigate him.
Had to be done.
That's so funny. It had to be done.
Apparently, I'm an addict.
That's a deportable offense.
Kyle just made a lucky guess. He can't hear it.
They don't
No,
have any nail
can't all
clippers
hear
in El Salvador.